But welcome, everybody. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button.
I remember in middle school when you felt self-conscious if you were the last one to go through puberty. That really went topsy-turvy, didn't it?
Sometimes the Hasbara, it's too much explaining yourself and it's too apologetic.
Be sure to hit the notifications bell.
I actually do believe Israel won't just bomb countless civilians.
Be sure to tweet this out. Be sure to put this up on your Facebook.
You have to be kind to people. Be kind to the guys in this mess in the first place.
Put this up on your Reddit.
Chile is a country.
Be sure to cut and paste, a link to this to go into your favorite Facebook chat group.
It's good to see so many normal people in here.
Now, spanking isn't just my deep, dark personal secret. It's America's deep, dark secret.
I've never seen it explained so simply anywhere.
Put this on WhatsApp. Put this on Telegram. Put this on your favorite messenger app.
Hello and welcome to the Untitled Anarchist Seagull channel. I'm your host, an Untitled Anarchist Seagull called Elise. And, well, I've had quite a fucking day. It's been quite a fucking week. And so, let's just see who's on their bullshit tonight, shall we? I think we might start out with, let's see. We've got a bunch of options around here. Let's see if we got something short to just get us started out. Okay. Let's see. Actually, why don't we just jump right in? We've been watching a fair bit of Ethan Klein's bullshit lately. And I have to say, he just seems to be a worse person. It's like, wow. I wasn't sure, when I haven't heard of somebody, I don't want to just sort of immediately assume that they suck shit if I've just sort of heard like one or two people saying, yeah, this person really sucks. But, this guy is so much worse than I would have given him credit for.
I'm back. The champ is back.
Woo! Where's the champ? I mean, I see you, but I don't see any champs.
2025, the first champion of the year. Wow, I needed this, guys.
Okay, I don't really give a shit about his poker win. Dan's secret site. General Nuke Talk. I think we're gonna skip ahead to that.
Okay, that's all out of the way. You guys see in the title. The title of the show is Hassan and Goons Are Evil, Cowardly Liars. Now, I once again am looking to not, to move on past this. But these.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I would want to move on past it as well. If I had been so completely and utterly discredited as a result of it. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, actually, there was a guy, one of the various people who are cited as proof of some of the atrocity hoaxes about the 7th of October. He's a paramedic, and he said he saw some really fucked up shit in Kibbutz Be'eri. The people in Kibbutz Be'eri say, no, first of all, not only do we have absolutely no evidence that that shit happened, but there's not even people matching the description there. And the guy says, oh, well, maybe it was a different town that I was also in. And then a few months later, somebody contacts him to see if he stands by his story. He says, actually, I kind of just want to put it past me now. Which is a ringing endorsement of the man's credibility.
People will not stop.
I mean, I just bring that up apropos of nothing, not because we're probably about to see fucking Ethan Klein
stop lying about me. Just like bold-faced, audacious, crazy lies. Right before the show, I saw Denims put out this video that I was like, oh my god, like, no, she did not. So, I mean, you know.
Well, I mean, yes, she did. I can understand why. Yeah, I heard something about them getting sued.
What was I going to say?
She put out a video right before.
She put out a video and I was just like, I cannot believe what I'm watching. The pathetic... I've never in my entire career been against such a dishonest, like hateful, persistently, like they dirty...
Motherfucker, you started this. You put out a content nuke that was the most self-discrediting shit ever. If you didn't want there to be pushback, I don't know, maybe you shouldn't have put out 2 hours of dishonest content that just completely destroys any credibility that you previously might have had.
They don't care. They'll outwardly lie. It's like it's impossible to
stick a pin in that one.
Drown out their voices. Like, this is what it is online. Hassan's community are the most psychotic people on the internet. They are sick, and they're so determined. And, you know, again, I hate to say it, but I do think it's related. I mean, it's kind of Stalinist. The way that
yeah, it's kind of Stalinist the way people are pointing out how full of shit you are, because that's what everybody knows about Stalin is he would watch people's videos and say, wow, that's bullshit. That's what everyone knows about Stalin. That's very Stalinist to point out when there's bullshit.
They'll just lie and say anything to frame anyone for anything.
Am I in a fucking cinema? Because I am seeing an amazing projection right here. Yeah. I mean, domestic workers get absolutely fucked over in general in this country. Like, there is almost no regulation on what people are allowed to do to them. It is disgusting.
Taking a play out of the book.
They're just like in too deep on their whatever the certain narrative is that they're committed to. That
you mean like how you
there's
a
no
certain narrative. That's another one to stick a pin in.
A room to like allow.
They have to win.
Anything that deviates a little bit from like, no, this is the bad guy, this is the good guy.
Maybe if you want to be the good guy, don't like lie and try to justify a genocide.
There's nothing in between.
There's a story. They have a story that they cannot deviate from, no matter what. And if that includes lying and making shit up.
Well, what's the story though? What's the story, Ethan? What's the narrative?
And so be it, right? So it's not even that heavy. It's honestly going to be mostly funny because it's just so fucking stupid.
I mean, unintentionally funny, I'm sure.
Did you see there was this tweet? I've had a bunch of stories. I don't know if you guys saved them. The people on Twitter, one guy said he wanted to, Hassan's strongest soldier, he wanted to grab our children by the ankles and slam them into a tree.
Oh, it's really convenient if he doesn't have that one handy.
It's this link number 5 in the top of the...
I was saying, I don't even think I can show it, but it's so...
Oh, he doesn't think he can show it. Trust us, bro. Trust us. He can't show it, though.
And this is the level of harassment that we receive on Twitter, you know, that they want to grab our children by the ankles and slam them into a tree until they fucking die.
I mean, you just literally said that this was from somebody associated with Hassan, and that this totally happened, and you're not going to show who it was or what they said. Wow, that's I mean, the credibility meter right now is fucking burying the needle.
You know, normal stuff. Why would you hate me that much? Why do you hate me that much?
Like, I mean, you made a 2-hour video detailing why people would have a low opinion of you. I can't imagine that you're surprised.
Like, I'm not like building death camps. You know what I mean?
No, you're just spreading the propaganda used to justify a genocide. Like, I mean, last time I checked, Julius Streicher, who also did something very similar, had a whole newspaper where he came up with all sorts of lurid, fucked up, heavily sexualized bullshit stories about horrible shit Jews were doing, and the whole point of it was, of course, to convince people that something needed to be done. And the Nuremberg trials decided that, yeah, he didn't build any death camps personally, but he was still responsible.
Not like, I want death camps, I don't want ethnic cleansing.
Then why are you fucking carrying water for it then?
Like,
No, I mean,
what would make you want to
would
kill
think
my children?
you're
I mean, like, literally, this guy yesterday was saying, well, the only real beef is that he's for a one-state solution. I want a two-state solution. Well, the one of the two states only exists because of fucking ethnic cleansing.
basically Bibi's like secondhand based on the treatment we're getting.
Right, I'm on the war council.
Yeah.
Making the calls. Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Not to mention that we lived in Israel and we
So what?
voted against Bibi.
So what? Like, Benny Gantz was no better. In fact, the so-called left opposition right now, you know, they celebrated this whole, the Trump idea of, like, somehow kicking all the Palestinians out of Gaza, as if they didn't just try to do that and fucking fail. They like, the so-called parliamentary left celebrated that. Not Hadash, which is like the closest thing to like an actual like leftist party that they even have. It is a joint Jewish-Palestinian party. They are like as anti-Zionist as you can be and still be allowed into parliament. They're like, basically, if you hear somebody say something decent in the Knesset, it is pretty much always somebody from Hadash. They're and not those people. I mean, they actually were against all this shit. But like the normal, like the people that people talk about, the left Zionist opposition people, like the Labor Party or whatever, they're celebrating this. Benny Gantz was celebrating this.
Even Ethan, we both voted.
Yeah,
who did you vote for then? I mean, if you're gonna try to take credit for I mean, did you vote for Hadash? That's like the only almost decent vote you could possibly cast there. But it's still kind of fucked up that, I mean, fucking Ethan Klein goes over there and pretty much automatically he has a vote for the asking, and Palestinians, millions of them who are going to live under Zionist jurisdiction, though nobody asked them if they wanted to, don't get a vote. I mean, that's kind of fucked up, don't you think? I mean, Ethan doesn't.
2 elections, and both time I voted against him.
Voted against him, and for who, though?
Like, what do you guys want from us?
There was...
well, I mean, maybe to not do genocidal propaganda.
It's another one of a girl who was like... You'll probably be able to find it easily. It was like, like you did the cutie, Ethan. And people were liking that tweet, and I'm like... so I tweeted out... Well, just pull it up. It has all the receipts, yeah.
Oh, interesting. He'll show this one. He doesn't want to show the really, really inflammatory one that he says totes came from somebody closely associated with Hassan. But this one he'll show. Not suspicious at all.
I know which... I hated that one. That one was...
so... And it doesn't matter how dumb it is and how obviously wrong it is, people like it. It's just... It's really something.
Well,
like,
I mean... Yeah, that explains Ethan Klein's career up till now.
I've never seen anything like this on the internet.
And
oh wow, he's never seen anything like this on the internet.
I generally feel that Cutie should just be out of the conversation just in general now. Just because she's been quiet and just kind of chilled the entire time. She keeps being brought up.
Yeah,
and
why?
Like,
it's
she
so
doesn't want to
true.
deal with this. Even her own boyfriend brings her up.
Well,
It's
so
like,
cynical. And also she's like putting this label of like rape on her.
We'll so discuss it. I can insinuate that. It's gross.
So anyway, here's once again Hassan's strongest warriors. A lot of these people have like the Hassan simp emoji, you know, which is so cringe, bro.
Oh well,
the fact
yeah,
that you even let that
the
happen.
arbiter of cringe here.
No, I don't need that. I just wanted to see that one, the story. So we have a Hassan
Wait,
video.
are you gonna show? You said you were gonna show us that one at least. You're not gonna show us that one either.
To review, and then we have the Adenum's video to review. And you guys know my policy on this. Like, I can't let this stuff fester. You got to get on top of it. Even if nobody's listening and they don't care. They literally don't care, but at least you guys.
I care.
And there's enough people that watch and listen that, like, it's important to say, not to let people say whatever they want.
Yeah, I mean, if you dig yourself deep enough into a hole, eventually you come out on the other side and you get to come out of the hole. I mean, that's the great thing about digging yourself into a hole. You have to get past the Earth's core, and there may be some scorching experience around that. But after that, you just keep digging, and eventually you come out on the other side. All cartoons don't lie, I'm sure.
The internet. I learned that.
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way through lots of experience, and that's my policy.
You would much rather spend your time going after someone who is actually considering genuinely going to Gaza?
Oh, come on. He's considering going to Gaza. Is that really
like, who is?
A Purple Heart? Is that really? He's thinking about it? Come on, bro. I'm thinking of going to
what does that even mean? It's like Israel isn't allowing any foreigners in, except for like aid workers. Foreign journalists are still not being allowed in, not because the Palestinians won't let them in. The Palestinians want them in there to show them all the shit that's gone down. The aid organizations would like foreign journalists to document this stuff too, so it isn't just the Palestinian journalists documenting this shit and then they get shot for it. But they're not allowed in, so, like, who's considering going to Gaza in what fucking capacity?
Congo and saving. Do you hear what happened in the Congo recently?
Yeah. What the hell?
That was horrific when I got to read about it.
This is it.
I mean,
when you said
that's kind of evergreen. There is always a thing going on in the Congo that merits, at the very least, that response. And nobody talks about it because the people getting murdered are all Black and African, and the people getting rich off it are a bunch of white people in the US and Europe.
Excuse me. So this account Peach had a viral tweet that was like,
oh, here she says, as a woman, it makes me incredibly uncomfortable how aggressively Ethan Klein is screaming the words fucking bitch at denims countless times. Meanwhile, he did this while claiming that Hassan is the actual misogynist. This man is highly disturbed. See, Ethan. If I were gonna leave one tweet out and show one tweet, then I don't think I would actually have gone with this.
Excuse me.
A bit on top there.
So this.
I'd imagine a rape victim being called a liar is even more uncomfortable, but that didn't happen. That didn't happen. Like the fucking video that is in that caption there literally did not have a single person who said that that they were raped. In fact, Sheryl Sandberg comes out at the beginning, says, "Yeah, you're not going to hear from any victims. The reason is they're all dead." But I mean, the thing is, there aren't even any dead victims who've ever been identified. There's not a single identified victim. Not living, not dead, nowhere, and not in the fucking video that you see there, Screams Before Silence. So, no rape victims were called liars in the making of this fucking program.
This account Peach had a viral tweet that was like,
pointing out how fucking actually very concerning it is the way how fucking misogynist Ethan is. Like, if low-key, if a guy started talking, saying fucking bitch like that in my presence, I would be creating a safe distance and possibly keeping maintaining line of sight to exits. I mean, That was absolutely like prelude to fucking punching the wall and stuff.
Denim's a bitch, which is like an easy.
No, say it the way you said it. Show us the clip. Say it the way you said it. In that video.
As a woman, it makes me incredibly uncomfortable how aggressively Ethan Klein is screaming the word fucking bitch at Denims countless times. Meanwhile, he did this while claiming Hassan is the actual misogynist. This man is highly disturbed.
Yeah, and also extremely dishonest.
Again, these people are such pathetic liars. They don't.
Like nothing she said is false though. Literally every single thing she said happened. In fact, I think we saw it on stream last night.
Don't care about the context of anything.
The context of the context. Oh, you want to talk about the context? That's right. You were lying about a genocidal propaganda film and using that to accuse Hassan of lying, when in fact you were lying about what's even in the fucking movie, and then you started screaming "fucking bitch, fucking bitch," like you were about to punch through fucking drywall. That's the context. Aren't you glad, Ethan, that we got the context in there?
No.
The truth of anything. It's all about just getting dunks on Twitter, which unfortunately for them, I think they think that getting dunks on Twitter helps Palestinians.
You know what doesn't help Palestinians? Since Ethan clearly cares about helping Palestinians, he once donated $6,500 to a Palestinian NGO. So, that isn't at all like trying to buy himself a fucking fire escape so he can so he can hedge his bets when he's doing this kind of propaganda. What would really help Palestinians is if you would not promote genocidal lies.
Somehow. But unfortunately for them, one, they're not as impactful as they think. In my
they're totally not impactful. That's why he's telling us all about him. That's why he's telling us what Peach has to say, because it's so unimpactful that he feels the need to address it directly.
Of online kind of commentary, they do have some sway.
Stop moving your fucking mouse cursor like that. That's making me dizzy.
But in the real world, they are completely ineffectual. But it doesn't stop them. I said
they are completely ineffectual, says the corn cob.
I'd imagine a rape victim being called a liar is even more uncomfortable.
Yeah, except that literally did not happen. That is just a complete fucking lie, because the video did not include any victims. It didn't include anyone who said they were a victim. There was actually an explanation at the beginning by Sheryl Sandberg, who herself has a history of covering up sexual harassment and assault when she was working at Facebook. Great source on that. And actually a couple of the so-called witnesses interviewed in the video were involved in covering up a systematic, basically a rape cult called Zaka that had actually hit the skids until they got free publicity from all this shit. But yeah, the one thing that you don't see anywhere in that entire fucking propaganda film is anyone actually saying that it happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it in the context here. Are you not upset that Denims just called this girl a liar about sexual violence straight to her fucking face? That doesn't.
First of all, it's not straight to her face, and second of all, if you read the fucking subtitle that's in the still there, says how they treated her, because she's not claiming that anything happened to her herself. She's claiming it happened to somebody else, somebody conveniently who's never been identified and cannot be matched with any kind of forensic evidence.
Doesn't bother. What bothers you is that I called her a bitch. Right.
Well, no, it's how you said it.
Not that she's believing women, right?
Wait, this is so fucking cynical. Believe women doesn't mean you believe every single thing any woman says about anything. The point of that is that you're supposed to have a favorable when somebody comes forward about having been sexually assaulted or something like that, you're supposed to have a favorable presumption, not just assume they're a fucking liar. But none of these people are doing that. They're all talking about shit they claim they saw, or in one case, shit they claim they heard but did not see. And in a number of cases, they're literally claiming things that could not have happened, or things that they directly contradicted. They have wildly different versions. They've told different media outlets without any concern for the possibility that somebody would ever look at it and say, yeah, it's impossible that both of these two things could be true. One of them has to be bullshit.
I mean, well,
one of those is clearly worse than the other. Like,
yeah, I would agree with that, but I don't think that you're going in the same direction I am with it. Because the thing is, either Ethan did not watch the fucking movie that he was showing clips from, or he did. And if he didn't watch it, then he really has no ground here to be talking, because it's self-discrediting and it literally discredits his claims about it. If he did watch it, on the other hand, it includes Sheryl Sandberg explaining why there are no victims in it. You know, her explanation being that none of the victims are alive. So, like, literally, this is just this is such bullshit.
Obviously, I think it is a mistake to do that just because it gives these people this easy out.
Listen.
Like even his dude there, even Ethan's weed lord, is pushing him back on this.
Deserve that. What she was doing, I'm standing by every fucking syllable of that. Okay.
Look at how he's like bouncing right now.
What she did
That's
was
some interesting body language going on, because the thing is, he knows that what he said was a lie. It is a lie about the movie.
abhorrent. And by the way,
just don't. Just don't.
I don't know how much got cut. Let's see here. Let me go back.
Listen, your critique of her is correct. It's just
no, it isn't. It literally isn't correct. But okay, but this guy's already uncomfortable too.
You know, people are sensitive about women being called that word, and so
well, it's not. I mean, it's not even just that word. Like, I've called myself that word. I mean, the word is there is a certain way that certain guys will say it, and when I hear it, and I think I'm probably not the only woman on the planet who feels this way. It's like, okay, some shit's about to pop off, and it's time to decide whether it's fight time or flight time, and that was the stank that he was putting into that. That is what was uncomfortable about that. Because it isn't that he just said bitch. Okay, I mean, not my favorite word in the world. But the fact that he sounded like he probably would have punched her if she were in the room with him.
And I'm sensitive. I intentionally don't do that.
He intentionally doesn't do the thing that he did. He intentionally doesn't do the thing that he did. That's great.
Here's the thing.
And frustration with her is very justifiable.
I absolutely 1,000% stand up.
He's getting pushback from within the studio. Ethan, the calls are coming from inside the studio. Even your dude there, whoever the fuck that is, feels like this is not something that he should be publicly agreeing with.
On that. Zero apology for it. Zero. If anybody in the world deserves that label, she's gonna fucking sit on it and stand.
Really? If out of anyone in the world, that's who deserves it. That's who like. I don't know anything about denims. I mean, I saw some of her like debunking of his bullshit, and I can see why he's angry. I mean, because she pantsed him completely. She just gave him a fucking swirly on the internet. Yeah, you'd be angry about that. But, like, you're gonna say if anyone deserves that, it's said in that, like, very kind of aggressive and threatening tone, it's her? Based on that? It's not hard to think of more of people who are more deserving. I mean, like Ethan himself, for example.
Stand on it and own it. That's how I feel about her. She's a horrible human being. And by the way, using that term, which is like people say, oh, it's disrespectful to women. She's disrespectful to women.
Right.
Really? Like how?
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
It would be.
It's women. She uses women. She lies about women.
Well, you haven't given an example of that. I mean, I don't look. Again, I know nothing about denims except I saw that video. But what we saw in that video is not her doing that. In fact, it is him using women and lying about women and lying about a propaganda film in order to, like, as a thought-terminating cliche.
So, like, if people, and by the way, people were never going to listen to what I had to say anyway. These people.
Oh, so nobody was going to listen to what he had to say anyway. So it's totally okay that he did that.
They don't care about.
I know. It's
They'll
They're
say,
not listening.
if it wasn't this, it'd be something else. Like the fact that they clip me, I could not care less because they're going to do it anyway.
This is him not caring.
Even if it's an outright lie, which is what we're going to see here.
Right.
Well, I mean, actually, we like to clip you, especially when you're outright lying, as you have been doing a little. You've been having a little moment with the lion, Ethan. Yeah, you've been doing a bit of that lately, so yeah, you're gonna get clipped.
Right. Well, and the outright lies are easier.
I called her a bitch, and I fucking stand on it. Like, you know what I mean?
I think you mean stand by it.
I just don't care. You're gonna what?
No, we cannot say I fucking stand on it. The preposition we use when we say I fucking stand it is by. I fucking stand by it. For example, do you fucking stand by it? That's right. You fucking stand by it. If you don't watch my afternoon stream, you will not know what the hell that was about. But if you do, and if you don't, that was hilarious. That was a hilarious callback I just did there. Just so you know.
What's that, gonna go on Twitter? Who gives
As a woman,
everybody on Twitter already wants to kill me and my children.
As a woman, I'd like to say that what she did is way worse for us women.
What she did was not. I mean, none of the things, and she knows perfectly well. I mean, unless she is not paying any attention at all, that like what he's saying is just complete bullshit.
I don't like men calling women bitch, and Ethan knows that, and he doesn't do that regularly. But
just as a treat.
Come on, like what she's doing is hurting actual women right now.
Oh. Wait, how? Which woman is... Oh, I get it. She's pointing out that Ethan Klein is a big fucking liar, and that adversely impacts his wife's source of income as well, since she's also part of the stream. So, I see she's hurting women by doing that, by pointing out that Ethan Klein is full of shit. But, I mean, I have to say, yeah, there's a certain logic to that, but I still think... Actually, in point of fact, it's Ethan Klein who's causing the harm by being full of shit, not the people who are observing that he's full of shit.
Women that were victims and are still victims, imagine them having to hear what Denims has to say.
According to Sheryl Sandberg, in the fucking movie that he was watching, they would not be able to hear it because they're all dead. According to the senior Israeli prosecutor who was in charge of the October 7th inquiries, they haven't been able to identify a single one because even after 15 months, nobody has come forward. They haven't been able to identify any dead ones either. The stories that are in that fucking propaganda fake documentary that he was showing have never been able to be linked to a single victim, living or dead. Like, it is... there is no excuse for this. Like, I mean, especially, like, both of them, I mean, she definitely speaks Hebrew. Most of the reporting on this has been in Hebrew. He probably does. If he lived there 5 years, he must have learned it. At least well enough to fucking read Haaretz or Ynet or something like that. In which case, like, both of them have absolutely no excuse.
Yeah.
That they're lying.
Wasn't this debunked?
What?
That's what
the propaganda movie? Yes.
She said.
Oh,
she goes, no, I only believe first-hand accounts. Wasn't this debunked?
Well, it was debunked, and it isn't a first-hand account. It was totally debunked.
We'll get into all that, but yeah, I stand on it.
I was actually sitting here thinking, since we're talking about this so much, that we might switch over at some point and actually look at the point-by-point fucking debunking that really well done that they did over at Electronic Intifada. If that's something you'd like to see, chat, I mean, I have to say content warning up to here, because there are some absolutely grotesque things that are talked about at various points, but not mostly, I should say. But if that's something you would like to look at, that's something I've been considering doing for a bit as well. And since we're talking about this so much, it seems like it would be worthwhile.
I don't care. It's like, on Twitter they're saying Ethan called her a bitch. It's like, yeah, they're also calling me a Nazi for criticizing Elon Musk for
They
being
call
a
me
Nazi.
Well, no, I think, I don't know, it's fucking Twitter. Somebody might be calling him a Nazi for criticizing Elon Musk. I mean, anything's fucking possible on Twitter. But maybe they're calling you a Nazi for spreading genocidal propaganda that's been comprehensively debunked.
A terrorist.
Like there's no limit to what these people will say. I don't fucking care. Me calling her a bitch is the least of the fucking things they're accusing me of.
This is him not caring.
You know what I mean? Like, who gives a shit? I don't.
Yeah,
I think calling me a terrorist is way worse.
Yeah.
Takes away from like the actual gravity of an actual terrorist.
I mean, what is bitch? It just means you're an asshole. That's it.
I mean, your own guy, your own fucking weed lord was not backing you up on that.
You know, I can live being an asshole.
We can tell.
Imagine being called a baby killer, a terrorist, a genocide supporter, telling
Well, I mean, have you considered not supporting genocide?
because you want to kill their children. Imagine how fucking bad that thing's. Who gives a shit if you're called a bitch? You know what I mean? Grow the fuck up. Look at what you're saying. And
I mean, I looked at what she's saying. What she's saying was actually totally reasonable.
anyway, we'll get into the details of it, but so this girl, in response, I said, I'd imagine a rape victim feels being called a liar is even more uncomfortable. And then this person, which I'm kind of curious how much, it was getting pretty good traction. Maybe you guys can look at how much it got.
Oh, you see, he doesn't care, but he wants to know what kind of numbers his actually libelous tweet is doing.
In the end.
Oh, anything against us gets like...
Okay, let me just see. Pairwise, right? Okay. I'm curious. I mean, that the fucking the user name has Israel in it. Yeah, here we go. So she's a Finnish pro-Israel account. Who it seems... Okay. Tervetuloa helvettiin. Welcome to hell in Finnish. And her tweets are protected after, like, I mean, that little bit of libel.
Tens of thousands of likes.
But listen to how dumb this is. She says, oh, like what you did to cutie Cinderella, Ethan?
Oh, wait. Oh, she was calling out... Oh... She was calling out Ethan. Okay, I missed that. It isn't a pro-Israel account.
What?
No, like...
I mean, okay, like watermelon, red triangles. Okay, I misread that. Sorry about that. Anteeksi parus. En lukenut kokoa.
In no way. It is actually like that in zero ways.
Well, what about the time you sexualized survivor of the... a juvenile survivor of the Boston Marathon bombing? That was kind of fucked up too, wasn't it? Well, I mean, if we want to talk about misogyny, since you're so against misogyny, Ethan.
I didn't question her, and also, there was no rape was not part of that story.
It has zero to do with the quit.
But as you guys were pointing out, like, they don't care about women. They care about getting owned. Like, why would you even bring Cutie Cinderella into this story? Okay?
Yeah, well, because it sounds like the reason you would bring Cutie Cinderella into this, and I don't know anything about this, but what she seems to be saying is that Ethan probably does not exactly practice what he preaches. I don't know if that's true because I don't know any of this background around Cutie Cinderella or around Ethan or any of that stuff. But I would say she seems to think so, and I would say that that's probably why she brought it up.
As a should try to own me in a lie, and then being like, oh yeah, Cutie was raped. It's like, who said that? You care about women? No, you don't. You're a fucking monster, dude. This is the dumbest tweet maybe ever made, and it has 13,000 likes on Twitter. I mean,
he doesn't care, but he wants to know what kind of numbers it's doing.
Just to give you an idea of a
really,
and she's like a total nobody, so this is like viral for her, right?
That's crazy.
500,000 views, 13,000 likes. Like,
what exactly did you do to Cutie? What?
No, there's zero similarity.
Now I'm just kind of curious. Ethan, Klein, Cutie Cinderella, the Chestnuts incident. In an 8-minute long video. Okay, Klein watched a video clip in which a teary-eyed Cutie Cinderella responds to a website selling inappropriate deepfakes of herself and other female broadcasters. While the video is playing, podcast crew member Zach, under instruction from Klein, played a slowed-down version of Nat King Cole's Christmas song, performed by Enoch Atidoan, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, over the video, causing Klein and several crew members to burst into laughter. Klein immediately received critical responses from his own crew, including Sam, who was visibly upset during the laughter. After a moment passed, he apologized for laughing and claimed he supported QT amid the ongoing situation. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it is different, but it isn't exactly an example of Ethan showing how much he gives a shit about women.
But she's like, "Oh, you were me. Oh, you so Denham's called a rape victim a liar."
No, she didn't. She literally didn't. I mean, because none of the people in that video who were interviewed claimed to have actually been a victim.
That time you were mean to Cutie Cinderella, owned.
Oh, well, wait, tell us how you were mean to her, though.
Awesome. Super cool, dude. And, wow, surprise, look at her description. Marxist, Leninist, Maoist.
Interesting, it doesn't say that now. Now it says in Finnish, tervetuloa helvettiin, which means welcome to hell.
What she's doing with this tweet to Cutie is way worse than what you did, actually. Because, she doesn't even want to be involved in this.
That's, I mean, that's really a convenient way of looking at things.
Let's look at her description, guys. Marxist, Leninist, Maoist.
Boogeyman. You're skipping the boogeyman.
She's part of Hassan Twitter, okay? And Kaya Piker Simp. I mean, these are the people. This is his...
Like, why? You shouldn't be wanting to dwell on this, though, Ethan. Because she's just revealed you as a big fucking hypocrite. Like, okay, you said she's, she has about, she's got 1,014 followers. I've got very slightly more than that. I've also got very few followers. So we're talking about, no wonder she's fucking protected her tweets, because he put her on blast and smeared her when she just pointed out how fucking hypocritical Ethan is. But this is because Ethan doesn't really care about this.
His community.
Yeah.
And of course the Hamas.
Yeah. But there's a watermelon, so she's one of the good people.
Well, watermelons.
You're promoting genocidal propaganda. You are not one of the good people.
Good, but she has a pink heart and a butterfly.
Yeah. So.
Wow. So. I love the idea that they get to stand in judgment of who good people are amongst Palestinian supporters.
She put, dude, you know what? She put a watermelon in her Twitter bio, which...
If only I saw somebody say, and thank you for the people that are fighting for us, like in this insanity, I see you guys. this one person said, if only Ela and Ethan had like a watermelon and a little bit of like Instagram post about pro-Palestine, they would let go of them. It's like,
no, they wouldn't. Like, I mean, he already like pointed out like his one source of pro-Palestinian credit. He donated $6,500 to a Palestinian charity, which, sorry, I mean, not a bad thing to do. I mean, like, do more of that, as far as I'm concerned. Not criticizing that action, but he did trot that stuff out, and it doesn't change the fact that he's still like promoting genocidal propaganda.
It was perfectly said. They said if they never donated or spoke up about it ever, and only just put a watermelon in the description, these people would think I'm a hero.
Yeah,
that's the move.
No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. They would think you were a hero until they heard what you actually had to say about Palestine. Like, what you said about Palestine sucks shit. That's why you're getting criticized.
It's the level of activism that these people are partaking in. So anyway,
what was with that hand gesture, Ethan?
Nice one.
Were you
awesome
doing a
job
homophobia?
supporting women. Super cool. So that's just one thing I saw. Let's see. Let's, I guess, start with the Hassan clip. This guy cannot stop talking about the video he refuses to watch. He doesn't have time to watch it. He
What's with the fucking hand gesture?
uploaded like a 3-hour reaction to the Destiny content nuke, by the
he
way.
does, however, have time to watch Goku Naru about it.
Goku Naru, the most enlightened soul.
You mean sort of like you, Ethan, don't care about any of this, but you're concerned about what a small Twitter account did numbers calling your ass out?
It's like
The Middle Eastern
nuts.
historian, Goku Naru. So anyway, here. Let's take a look. Hassan can't stop talking about the contact nuke, but still refuses to watch it and provide any meaningful rebuttal.
Other people have already done
he changed his background.
I hate
AB
it.
would love that. Lights. Although,
Hey, Hassan, I
looks
hate
like a
your
pet
new
store,
background.
frankly. Doesn't it?
It looks ugly as fuck.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I think his room looks better with
It
like
makes
Hamas.
no sense. What is this half and half anyway?
I think his room looks better with like Hamas and Hezbollah and Houthi shit.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, what is even the point of this at this
like
point?
from the video.
Like in your video. Yeah.
It's more suiting. Anyway, let's see what he has to say.
Making that kind of content, making that kind of, taking the initiative and making that.
What is this frame, bro? Why are you just like in the corner?
It's absolutely
Bring your
terrible.
shit up, man.
I'm glad we're talking about the important things.
That kind of content.
Oh, well, maybe it's because I think that's a huge dog, is lying down, curled up cutely in the background. Maybe that's why.
Oh, is it just so people can see Kaya? Is that like, dude?
That's Oh, is Kaya his dog?
I know, but it's like he's doing the. You remember the CS:GO thing? The kid, he apologized with his golden retriever.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Oh god, that's like so niche now. Probably
CS
nobody
Martin.
knows what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Love would
During the CS:GO lotto controversy, that dude made the apology with his golden retriever.
Yeah, T. Martin.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying Hassan's doing here by sitting in the corner so that Kaya has the majority of the frame.
Yeah,
You know
it's a
what I mean?
classic move.
Oh god.
Is not for someone who has any sort of kind.
Let me go back.
Making
This
that
is
kind
incredible.
of taking the initiative and making that.
What? We have a dedicated T1 line.
Yeah, what the hell?
What is this buffering?
Even his dedicated T1 line is on strike.
But yeah.
Is it not T1? I was under the impression we were at T1.
Kind of content.
T1 is like you're this is a very boomer thing to say.
T1's old.
Yeah. T1 was like hyperfast internet in like 2002.
Yeah.
It's even better than
True.
T1. What are we at? T9?
It's just fiber. We have fiber internet, yeah.
Fiber.
Fiber internet. Like, I had fucking fiber internet in my first flat in Cardiff. That's not a flex.
Yeah.
Fiverr?
That sounds good as fuck.
That doesn't sound that good.
Oh, I got
Well, I don't know. When you're making shit content, you need fiber to get it out.
my computer in the basement hardwired.
That's
That's
huge.
legit, bro.
I've been pushing for that for years.
Oh, it's so
You had
big.
Wi-Fi before?
Yeah.
You can get on Wi-Fi.
That's
I've been pushing for
crazy.
years.
It wasn't easy to wire it. It was in a weird
Yeah,
spot. I had to
it's
bring an electrician
Yeah.
to do it.
In my old
I get Destiny late all the time. If I lived with him.
If Destiny was my roommate, I get him late all the time.
Oh, can we watch today the Hassan Teddy Fresh thing? Like
we watched it on
Wednesday.
But we can
you
watch it
did
again
end up
if you-
watching it?
We watched
Oh,
a bit
so
of it.
I missed it.
Okay, it
sorry.
seems like. Oh, wait a second. Here we go. We're gonna skip.
Let's see. All right, now we're moving on to denims. Let's see here.
Yeah, because, I mean, Hassan did not actually provide really a substantive rebuttal. But he didn't have to, because other people already pointed out how full of shit he was.
So we did a pretty thorough reaction to her.
Yeah, you could say that.
Saying that the rape victims were lying.
Plural. There wasn't even a single one in that movie. As Sheryl Sandberg, the maker of the movie, explains in the fucking movie. Literally none of those people claimed to be a victim. Like, who? Name one of them.
So here she is hitting back. Bringing it back to me. Now let's let's take a bet. Does she ever acknowledge the fact that she lied about a rape victim? Or
Oh, no, because she didn't. She literally did not. You, on the other hand, did.
or is it just like ad hominem?
Oh, okay. Context. Destiny is obviously joking. Oh, this is when she pointed out that Destiny just completely threw him under the bus and said, yeah, they talk all the time.
That's gonna be the next clip. This is
all right, so we're getting there.
Yeah.
All right, Denims, lock in your answer now. Let's see.
Me as an ex-Destiny orbiter. He's doing this to distract from the fact that he's currently orbiting Destiny.
Okay. First of all, I'm bigger than Destiny. That's not how gravity works. Okay, lady, take a fucking class in science. I've been bigger than Destiny. Okay? That's just not how it works, lady.
So what? Like, that's what you're gonna rest on? You're a larger content creator. The point is, you're relying on his shit for your content.
And you know,
that's physics, man.
So okay, so you're supposedly a smart girl. Come on, okay, orbiting. This
is what
to me would mean they collaborated together. They like call into each other's show. They do stuff together.
I don't want you to fall into a trap here because she's got receipts.
Okay.
It's pretty devastating.
Let me see my girl's receipt.
Where's the one state? Oh, you. Okay. I mean, she is for sure a friend of Destiny. Was a friend of Destiny, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, hold on. What can I say?
I can say it if you want.
I mean,
I
we
love
don't
that
care
we've got to the point where even being associated with Destiny is discrediting. I think that's actually an improvement in the culture, because it should have been discrediting all along. The guy
Speculate what happened between her and Destiny. There's rumors online. There's some screenshots that people released.
Because she cares about women. So she's just gonna like point out that there's rumors online and make sort of, I guess, sexual insinuations, I suppose this is.
Of private communications.
Seemed like she wanted to fuck.
We don't need to like go there, but like
You just went there. You just fucking went there, and it's not a place that you should feel the need to go for if you have like a point.
bottom line, she wanted to fuck him. It
Which is
seems?
fine. Which is
According to rumors on the internet. That's such a great source. That's like almost as good as the Sheryl Sandberg bullshit documentary.
fine. And again, it's not even. I don't even say that to like slut shame or whatever. Obviously,
That's literally what you just did, though. Yeah, I mean, fucking Mr. Believe Women here.
you know, get that strange cock. Like
Yeah, like, I mean, God, ultimate fucking male feminist role model right here.
support that more than anybody, right?
The tiny D.
Get that D from D. Get the D from D.
Yeah. Tiny D, because it goes by tiny, I think.
That's
like
true.
The tiny D.
Get the tiny D from tiny D. However, what it does show is your closeness to him, because obviously you have to be pretty.
What shows your close? What shows her closeness to him? Like what? The fact that Hila says that there are fucking rumors on the internet.
Close to them to have sex with them. That's not something I can relate to. Is that orbiting?
This is again based on the fact that Hilla says there are rumors on the internet. Like, there are rumors on the internet about literally fucking anything.
I don't know. But I just think it's funny. Her and Hassan are the ones calling me an orbiter, and they're the motherfuckers who were part of this guy's life when accusations existed,
orbiters.
and they benefited.
The accusations still exist.
From his fucking benefited.
You guys are the actual
This is great. This is great.
The real in real life, like where we live in the reality. You guys are the orbiters.
This is based on, again, rumors from the internet. That is what Hilla said this is based on. That's such a great source. It's fucking impeccable.
So there's that.
Y'all live in Destiny solar system. I'm out here, rogue black hole. I don't know nothing about nobody. Yeah, but she has proof though, Elon.
Yeah, she does. I mean, and the proof is that Destiny's fucking said so.
Okay.
Yeah. Hassan and his community is desperate to link me to Destiny, someone who I don't even know. They claim that he like ghost wrote my video, that he's my favorite creator.
I wonder why people might think that.
Ooh.
But really, just ask Destiny.
Oh shit, she's doing some like Sherlock Holmes type of shit right here, boy. I'm in the middle of a crazy clue game.
Okay.
Here's what he had to say.
He look at his fucking facial expressions here. He's not at all nervous.
On October 22nd, the day after Ethan Klein got caught browsing his subreddit.
I know it wouldn't look good for Ethan
I don't
to publicly.
know what got caught browsing his subreddit. Can you show me what that means? Like,
Well, it means that you were mining his subreddit for content, like somebody who isn't at all a Destiny Orbiter would do.
what the fuck are you talking about? Like, did I pick that? Like, I showed an image that also appeared on his subreddit or something? Like,
Do they know that like if you open a subreddit, that still doesn't make you an orbiter of Destiny?
Well, that's not what she's saying, though.
I don't know him. They're like, oh,
just to like bring her back to reality for a second.
I mean, having.
Well, why didn't you finish the clip, Ethan? Why didn't you finish the clip? Let's see what Destiny said.
If you opened the Destiny subreddit, it does not make you an orbiter of Destiny.
They disagree.
Well-
Ironically, being friends with him and wanting to sleep with him, and
According to rumors on the internet.
streaming with him, and
Well, just because nobody wants to sleep with you, Ethan.
Now
hanging out, having good time, having sex in his bed. I think that happened.
Not that he's slut shaming or anything. He would never do that because this is Ethan. Believe women, Klein.
You know the Reddit algorithm.
I mean, believe women unless they're Palestinian. Because the thing is, I mean, unlike the claims that the Israeli government made about October 7th, there are lots of Palestinian women who have come forward, who have described in fucking painful detail the shit that's been done to them, and men and children as well, at the hands of fucking IDF ghouls. Why aren't you talking about them, since you're Mr. Believe Women?
Algorithm will sometimes give me like all kinds of subreddits. I ended up clicking like Ludwig. I don't even care. I don't follow him. I never watch him. It doesn't matter. Like I can't believe I even need to explain it.
You don't.
You click on all kinds of subreddits. Maybe Destiny said something crazy and it was all over the homepage. Yeah, that may happen.
She didn't even show evidence because it's all like circumstantial and ridiculous.
Yeah.
Klein got caught browsing his subreddit.
No, it wouldn't look good for Ethan to publicly do anything with you, but if you reach out on private at all, well, privately we chat a ton, of course. Why do you think I've been off stream so much the past week? I'm like scripting these fucking videos. But publicly, I mean, it's difficult to associate with him because Asana's just going to accuse me of like mind fucking him, basically, right?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can see why they were like hesitating so much before showing that.
If Ethan Klein is willing to lie about all this other stuff, what else is he willing to lie about?
Lots of things, actually.
Nims is a dumb fucking bitch. Well said, sir.
Wait, if you look at her face, it almost looks like she doesn't even believe what she's saying.
That is such fucking obvious.
Well, why didn't you look at Ethan's face? Because Ethan's face shows something I would not call confidence.
He's obviously joking, and she
was friends.
She was friends with him.
She admired
Wait, I mean, again, based on rumors from the internet.
his sense of humor and his personality.
She knows he's joking.
She was very good friends with him.
So forced, bro.
Yeah, look at her face afterwards.
Like, are you gonna show us some fucking receipts for that? You gonna just keep on making that claim?
Back, she's like,
I mean, I don't know. I like, again, let me just say, I had never heard of Denims until like 2 days ago. I know nothing about her. But, I mean, just judging from all the things, all the just wild fucking lies that we've watched Ethan tell, I mean, like, insulting to the intelligence lies. Like, all you have to do is, like, watch the horrible fucking propaganda documentary that he claims, he claims shows people who were victims. Just to see that Sheryl Sandberg says that there were no victims in it because she says all the victims are dead.
Yikes!
What
Am I
else
right?
is he weren't willing to lie about? Did you guys know that he pulled a meme from the Destiny subreddit?
I'm like scripting these
But the meme you presented as if it was fact.
fucking videos. But publicly, I mean, it's difficult to associate with him because Asana's just going to accuse me of like mind fucking him, basically.
Which they're doing anyway.
Interestingly, let's even assume that he's telling the truth. So let's hear what.
Oh wait. So you're saying that now? Okay. So Destiny's lying. I mean, like, look, I can believe that Destiny's lying. But I can also believe that Ethan is lying. Neither of these sources have the slightest fucking credibility.
He's saying, and then like, let's see.
I know it wouldn't look good for Ethan to publicly do anything with you, but if you reach out on private at all, well, privately we chat a ton, of course. Why do you think I've been off stream so much? Just a week.
So he's saying he's been off stream for a long time
because
we've been working so
scripting your
closely
video.
hand in hand that he hasn't had time to stream.
Obviously a joke.
Obviously.
I mean, if these people don't have the capacity to understand basic stuff like that, I don't understand why should anybody listen to them.
It doesn't sound like a joke to me. This is like the 4th time I've heard him say it. Still doesn't sound like he's joking.
On anything.
Well, so this is part of what's so malicious about this movement.
Well, I mean, if this isn't true, like, are you saying you could like show his streaming schedule for that week? Like, if you're saying that he was not off stream a whole lot, that's the easiest thing in the world to show, is to disprove, because that stuff's all on the fucking internet. You just go to his Twitch page or his YouTube page or whatever, and you see whether he was streaming.
That I really hope people understand. They are knowingly lying. And I think they collude and knowingly lie.
Yeah.
You mean like you did with that movie?
Because they have very much like a ends justify the means type of thing. And you can see it in the way a lot of them look at society. Like they want authoritarianism. They want like a strong central government to take control of people. They don't believe in like personal
citation needed.
liberties. And they're very much all about like the ends justify the means.
Yeah.
So I do believe these people collude to like spread specific talking points. The problem is that she's so fucking dumb that this one is actually so dumb and bad, it's not really believable, even probably to her dumbest audience.
Then it should be really, really easily refuted, shouldn't it?
First, although who knows? Let's see.
They don't care either.
You might be surprised. I might be surprised.
Okay, I'm going to skip over. I'm going to just show some of. Let me just some of this, so you can, if you haven't seen that Sheryl Sandberg propaganda flick, this, okay, hang on. This is Electronic Intifada's live stream. They did this a year ago, and everything that's come out since has actually strengthened their take from then. I'm going to drop the link to the full thing in chat. Definitely worth watching. I'm going to try to sort of skip around the nastiest shit that's described. There's only one bit of really horrible stuff, and I think we can skip around that pretty easily. But
okay, I am Nora Barrows Friedman. I'm here with Ali Abonima.
I have to say, Nora Barrows Friedman amazes me, because her role in the live stream for these 15 months of just unspeakable fucking horror has been to give the news brief. She does and she manages to do it with such polish. Yes, she's talking about the most horrible fucking shit. I mean, my voice would be breaking constantly. She somehow makes it through it. Does just an absolutely beautiful job with it.
I want to let you know that this next segment contains frank discussions of alleged sexual violence.
Yeah, and as I said, the frankest bits we're gonna try to sort of skip around. We've got a half an hour, and this is a 1 hour thing, so we may not actually get that far because I do tend to run on a bit.
Last week, billionaire former Facebook executive Sheryl Sandberg released a film purporting to document mass rapes carried out by Hamas fighters on October 7th. The film, called Screams Before Silence,
and this is the film that Ethan is talking about,
has been heavily promoted by such figures as former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, ostensibly progressive Congressman Ro Khanna, and of course the Israeli government, among many others. Writing in the Washington Post on April 29th, columnist Ruth Marcus urged her readers, quote, "You should watch it and speak out about how rape and gender violence were deployed as weapons of war."
Gonna skip over.
Called Screams Without Words. I don't think that it's a coincidence that the title of Sandberg's film, Screams Before Silence, echoes the headline of that New York Times article. Let's take a look at Sheryl Sandberg introducing Jeffrey Gettleman at that Columbia University.
Jeffrey Gettleman, it's worth noting, is the author of the main lead author of the discredited Screams Without Words story in the New York Times, which, among other things, falsely claimed that a woman who was, in constant contact with her family up until the moment that she died, and therefore could not have been assaulted, was. And actually, the way they manipulated the family to participate in the story was to tell them that her brother, who was along at the time, lied and had witnessed this stuff that he says he did not see. It was vile.
Back in February.
Is a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist, foreign correspondent for the New York Times. For the past 20 years, he has covered every major conflict in more than 80 countries. Every so often I get to talk to him in these places, and I can't believe what he's going through. His piece in December, called Screams Without Words, is a definitive piece on the sexual violence of October 7th. Incredibly hard to research, and we'll have it.
It was hard to research, especially because his co-author, who did the most of the research, a genocidal fascist by the name of Anat Schwartz, she reported that she had gone to every single place in Israel, in the entire country, where somebody who was a victim of sexual assault could go to seek treatment or assistance. Police stations, rape crisis centers, there's special wards for this at major hospitals and stuff like that. And she said she literally rang all of them, and she could not find a single case.
Chance to talk about that.
As you just heard there, Sandberg praises the article Gettleman wrote with two Israeli co-authors as, quote, the definitive piece on the sexual violence of October 7th. But that's not the only praise she gives it. Here's another brief clip.
Back to you. So the recent piece you just wrote, Screamed Without Words, builds on all the work you've done over the decades and is incredibly comprehensive. I think you spoke to over 100 people for the piece.
Now, as I said, that was back on February 9th, and recall that by that point, much of Gettleman's piece had already been debunked. For example, we had addressed it here on this live stream right at the beginning of January. I'll just mention right now that a lot...
Well, I'm going to just link that. Okay. You can find that, what they're looking at here.
A lot of the rape claims that are in Gettleman's story do not appear in the Sandberg film, and I'm going to come back and talk about that later.
Okay, let's talk about Sandberg's film, Screams Before Silence. Give us an overview. I watched it yesterday. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, we watched it. I actually watched it several times so that nobody else has to. But yeah, let's look at this claim that's right at the beginning of the film. And this is a screenshot from the film, and it says, eyewitnesses and investigators have reported that Hamas subjected women to sexual violence and rape before they were killed. those who are taken hostage suffered and continue to suffer physical, mental, and sexual abuse at the hands of Hamas terrorists.
There is absolutely nothing to back that up.
Now, there's a couple of things to note here. First, with respect to what supposedly happened on October 7th, the film speaks only of eyewitnesses and investigators, but not living victims.
Yes, Ethan, not living victims. Because the fucking claim that Sheryl Sandberg makes is that they're all dead. So when you're accusing Denims, for example, of calling a rape victim a liar, you're just absolutely lying about the fucking movie. Because none of those people claimed it happened to them.
7 months after this event, they have still not identified a single survivor.
16 months later, that's still true.
The second thing to note is that the film does not claim that there were merely some isolated and individualized incidents of rape. It insists, and this point is hammered throughout the film, that there was a pre-planned campaign of mass rape ordered by the leadership of Hamas. This is important to keep in mind. Just like previous efforts to promote this narrative, this film does not provide credit
from alleged victims
I'm
of
skipping
rapes
ahead
on
so we
October
can actually
7th.
get to the meat of this documentary and just show how completely dishonest what we just saw from Ethan was.
How does the film try and convince viewers that this is what happened?
Well, a lot of it is atmospheric. So if you watch it, you'll see there's a lot of sort of doom and gloom music and Sheryl Sandberg crying and hugging people, and people talking about terrible things that they experienced or witnessed on October 7th, none of which
Well, I mean, he has a still from the film. That clip shows him, like, watching the film on stream. I mean, it's entirely I don't know. I didn't actually watch his version of it, but he seemed to be watching it there. But yeah, I mean, if he did watch it, then he has no excuse, because Sheryl Sandberg says up front there are no victims in this movie.
rapes. But when it comes to the rapes, one tactic is just to assert that there's an overwhelming amount of evidence without actually showing any of it. So let's take a look at this clip of Israeli Police Superintendent Mirit Ben Mayor talking to Sandberg.
And with clear instructions.
And we see a still there of a guy with his hands tied behind his back. That is one of the people who confessed under torture that Sandberg relies on. That is like, these are people, these are torture victims who signed any old confession to make the torture stop, and she put them in the fucking movie.
To kidnap as many, to rape as many, to humiliate as many, to murder as many. They came here with a mission, and they succeeded in the mission.
How much evidence is there of the crimes of October 7th?
There's a lot of evidence. We have over 200,000 visuals that we've collected.
Visuals of
we
what?
We have over 2,000 testimonies that have been taken. Among these evidence, we have substantial evidence for sexual violence that took place on the 7th of October.
Okay, but the question is then, what are you talking about? Is it testimony or is it these visuals? Because the prosecutor in charge said months later they could not find any visuals. They couldn't find any video evidence. They also couldn't find any forensic.
So that might sound pretty convincing to an uninformed audience, but as we've said before on this live stream, Israel has never claimed and is still not claiming that there is a single piece of video that shows a rape taking place. And that is an extraordinary absence given the fact...
Although, Annalena Baerbock, the foreign minister of Germany, actually publicly claimed to have seen video that was supposedly body cam video from Qassam Brigade's fighters showing them doing it. But, I mean, according to Israel, that video doesn't exist. People have pointed that out in press conferences to the press spokespeople of the foreign ministry in Germany, and they never actually have given a straight answer. They just, like, attack the people who ask the questions.
that you just heard once again that this was a systematic campaign of mass rape. But you do not have to take my word for it. Here's what the Israeli newspaper Haaretz reported as recently as April 18th in an article that is actually trying to boost, not debunk, the mass rape claims. And I quote from Haaretz, it says, "From inquiries put to 3 bodies in the defense establishment by Haaretz, it emerges that the intelligence material collected by the police and the intelligence bodies, including footage from terrorists' body cameras, does not contain visual documentation of any acts of rape themselves." End quote. So here's another example.
Which is why you don't see any of that in the fucking Sandberg film.
The claim that there is just a ton of evidence where none exists. This is a woman called Shari Mendez, who is described as an Israeli army reservist who was at the Shura military base that was being used as a makeshift morgue on October 7th.
The Shura base, which is where all the victims of the October 7th massacre were brought. There were body bags.
I mean, they do so much with lighting and set design on this. The fucking gray lighting, the set design like they're in an abandoned fucking warehouse.
Lining the corridors from the floor to the ceiling on both sides. And we never knew what we would see.
Okay, and I'm gonna skip over because there's some fairly disgusting shit there. But the short version, as you will see if you watch this, the UN and also Haaretz both came to the conclusion that at the Shura base, where she claims to have seen some absolutely horrific things, they examined all the bodies. They could find no evidence of anybody matching the description she gives.
According to a source knowledgeable about the details, there were no signs on any of those bodies attesting to sexual relations having taken place or of mutilation of genitalia.
Yeah, in other words.
End quote. The article also says that there were police forensic teams at the Shura base, and then it says, quote, "These teams did not document a single case of sexual assault or cases of genital mutilation," end quote. And let's also go back to the UN report, which says that the UN team examined thousands of photos and video clips provided by the Israelis. The UN report says, quote, "In the medico-legal assessment of available photos and videos, no tangible indications of rape could be identified," end quote. So Shari Mendez is just a liar.
Yeah. I mean, this is the documentary that Ethan is using in order to justify his like fucking misogynistic outburst and justify just genocidal propaganda that he's been spewing.
There's no forensic evidence either. What are some of the other tactics that the film uses to try and convince viewers that we're dealing with something real here, besides the moody music and the close-up shots of Sheryl Sandberg patting the backs of people?
There is a huge emphasis on trying to shock viewers with claims that witnesses observed mutilated bodies with signs of sexual violence, including the insertion of objects such as iron bars and nails into
Sorry about that. Didn't realize that was coming up.
Everything was ripped. ראיתי גופות שרופות, גם של גברים, גם של בנות. שאתה רואה אדם, גבר או אישה.
Okay, this guy is with Zaka. And Zaka are just fucking scumbags. First of all, they have absolutely no training, no expertise in any of this to be talking about the state of bodies. They also did not document anything. They are literally religiously opposed to forensics and the collection of evidence and all that stuff. And also, this I believe is Chaim Otmazgin. He's certainly interviewed. And the thing you have to know about Chaim Otmazgin of Zaka is that according to Haaretz, the main way he makes his living is by pretending to be a lawyer and bilking large amounts of money off of people who think they're his clients. While covering up like all sorts of just fucked up. I mean, Zaka was basically a pedo ring.
שהגופה השרופה שלו היא בתנועת התכווצות, בתנועת התגוננות, אתה מבין שקודם שרפו ואחר כך הם מתו.
Later, Israel admitted that the burning was something they did.
A lot of the bodies were naked, totally.
In your experience, how often have you found naked
Like
bodies?
his experience, like he's some sort of first responder or something. Like literally all they do is like collect dead bodies.
Never. Never.
When I got out, I saw so many bodies. Their shirts were ripped off, and girls without skirts, without pants, their legs were spreaded. They were abused. The bodies were abused.
מה שראיתי שם זה דברים שלא אנושיים. אם זה גופות של בחורות שהבגדים שלהם קרועים באיזושהי פוזיציה, את יודעת, שהיא שוכבת על הגב, רגליים פתוחות, היה גם איזה אחת שאת רואה ממש על הגב של אוטו, מכופפת עם נכנס למטה.
אתה רואה גופה של בחורה, אתה אומר לעצמך, מה?
Yeah, so
anyway, it's time to wrap up. But it's well worth watching this if you haven't already, especially because it just shows how fucking dishonest Ethan is. Because his whole thing is to claim that, like Denims is calling a victim a liar and everything, and not a single person in this video is A, a victim, or B, remotely credible. But it is time to wrap up. Thank you so much for joining in. It's always lovely to see you. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And if you enjoyed the stream, please consider supporting me and the stream and my other projects with a contribution at the link that I'm just dropping in chat. I know things are really hard for everybody. I certainly would not want anyone to contribute money that they would miss. But if you can and you want to, it is always very much appreciated. I'll be back at 11:30 p.m. on next Friday, U.S. Eastern Time. Have a good